What's up, Star Wars fans? Today I want to talk to you about the heartwarming response that Hayden Christensen is getting about his comments on the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels animation series. Now, if you're a fan of this channel, then you probably already know the massive amount of character development that Anakin Skywalker goes through in the Clone Wars animation series. Hayden Christensen and George Lucas had a very tough time in just 2 movies taking the Anakin Skywalker character from this young bratty Padawan to one of the greatest villains ever in Darth Vader. And so, of course, in 7 seasons of the Clone Wars, not only do we learn a lot more about the Anakin Skywalker character, but we learn a lot more about his relationship with Obi-Wan Kenobi and many other characters such as Padme Amidala, Captain Rex, and even Ahsoka Tano, who is nowhere to be seen in the movies. And recently I covered an article by EW in which Hayden Christensen himself praised the Clone Wars animation series and the work and development it did on the Anakin character. And while the voice actor of Anakin Skywalker recently reacted to this, in an interview with Sci-fi and Fantasy Gazette.com, Matt Lanter states in the interview there's a wealth of knowledge to learn from Anakin in the Clone Wars about his relationship, how he treats people, and the adventures he's been on. I think that's wonderful, Lanter continues. Just as a fan of Star Wars, to know a role you were invested in and care about has made such an impact. That's so cool, and I'm glad he was able to revisit it. And now notice that Lantern mentions that Hayden Christensen was revisiting the Clone Wars at this point, and that's because he goes on in the interview to tell us that he met with Hayden Christensen at the 2019 Star Wars Celebration, and at that time Hayden had watched some of the Clone Wars and was praising him for his work, and stated that what you guys are doing with the show is really great for the Star Wars universe. And I gotta tell you, after just so many years of people hating on the prequels, it's just so good to hear about Hayden Christensen, how despite all of that hate for his work in the prequels, he is still a kind and generous Star Wars fan. But that all said, the big question here is, what exactly is Hayden Christensen going to take from the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels animation series? What is it he really needed to know from those series? And of course, I think the most obvious takeaway that Hayden Christensen is going to take from all 7 seasons of the Clone Wars is that relationship that Anakin develops with Ahsoka Tano. Which begs the question, can Rosario Dawson and Hayden Christensen actually create that magic that Matt Lanter and Ashley Eckstein were able to create over 7 years of the Clone Wars? And hey, the fact that Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson have done their homework and watched the Clone Wars animation series as well as Star Wars Rebels, well, that's certainly going to help out Dave Filoni's job in the Ahsoka series. But hey, Star Wars fans, let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. And as always, I'm Mike. Thanks for watching. And remember, the Force will be with you always.